Okay, so now that we have done turning fractions, turning percents into fractions, now we're going to go flip and go from fractions to percents. So the whole thing with going from fractions to percents is you are going to first write the fraction. So in this case, it has 1/4. You're going to write it equal to another fraction that has a denominator of 100. Because remember, whenever you're writing a percent, it needs to be, the whole needs to be 100. And so now, just like we did with ratios, we can figure out what our missing numerator is by thinking about how did we get from 4 to 100? What do you have to multiply by to get from 4 to 100? In this case, we're multiplying by 25. And just like with ratios, whatever you do at the bottom, you have to do the top. So 1 times 25 is 25. And 25 over 100 in percent form is just 25%. So all this is saying is that 1/4 is equal to 25%. So let's try this on the next one. So it says that to write 3 over 50 as a percent. So first I'm going to rewrite this 3 over 50. And I'm going to make it equal to a fraction with the whole as 100. All right, so you think that what do you have to multiply 50 by to get to 100? We have to multiply by 2. And if we multiply the bottom by 2, we have to multiply the top by 2. And 3 times 2 is 6, so I have 6 over 100, which is, as a percent, 6%. So that's my answer there. All right, last one all together. So we have a drought affects 9 out of 12 Midwestern states. What percent of these states are affected by the drought? So it's giving it us to a fraction form, and it wants us to say what percent it is. So again, I'm going to make this equal to a fraction with 100 as the whole. And I'm going to think about how do I get from 12 to 100. Now, automatically, if you're thinking, well, I don't know how to multiply 12 by to get to 100. The first thing I would do then is to simplify this 9 over 12. So instead of thinking about how I get from 12 to 100, let's simplify 9 over 12. So to simplify, we can divide both sides by 3. And we would get 3/4 because 9 divided by 3 is 3. And 12 divided by 3 is 4. Now that I have it in simpler form, now I'm going to go ahead and again write out that equal to the part to whole, the 100. And now you guys might notice now it's a little bit easier to get to 100 from the 4. Because before, getting from 12 to 100, you would have had a decimal. So in this case, you're going to be multiplying. Now you can have a whole number. So what times 4 equals 100? Well, we have multiplied by 25. And we have to multiply the top by the same thing. And if you multiply 25 by 3, you're going to get 75. And 75 over 100 as a percent is 75%. All right, so if something is not making sense to you in this video, please go back and rewatch that part that is still not making sense to you. On your own, on these 5, 6, 7, and 8, the first thing that you guys are going to want to do is make it equal to a fraction with 100 as a denominator. Make it equal to that whole of 100. And then think about how do you get from your denominator to 100. You're going to do the same thing to the top of the fraction. In number 8, you're going to have to first turn this into a improper fraction before you can do that, because currently it's in a mixed number form and you need to turn it into an improper fraction to begin. All right, so again, if something's not making sense to you, please rewatch this video, rewatch the part that's not making sense, and then try these practice problems on your own. When I come back tomorrow, I'm going to check the 8 on your own problems, and that's how you're going to get points for today in addition to watching these videos. And then when you guys are done with these videos and these problems, you can go ahead and get on Clever and start your homework.